everyone, we are Vicki and Steph from DIY for Homeowners by Mother-Daughter Projects.
And we are so excited to be hosting on Hometalk today, the world's largest DIY community for home and garden.
And if you are tuning in on November 6th between 11 and noon, we will actually, Eastern time, we will actually be live in the comments. So ask us any questions you might have.
Ask away, we're ready.
So we're ready to get right into today. So we're going to show you how to make a C table for your sofa. And it's basically a side table.
It's a side table.
Everyone uses a side table.
And I will say, it is a basic build, so if you are new to any kind of woodworking, this is your kind of project.
Yes. All right, so let's show you what we need. The first thing is you're going to need 4 pieces of 8-foot 2 by 2. This is select pine. And that's what we're going to do. We're first going to make all of our cuts. So you're going to come on over here with me. Come on over. And we are going to cut our wood here. All right, so this is a miter saw. Don't be scared. This is actually one of the first power tools we ever got. This is one of our favorite tools. And this is actually a battery-powered miter saw, so it has 2 batteries right here at the top. And I also, since we're inside, I want to make sure that we are using good dust collection. So it's right here we have our wet dry vac is plugged into the miter saw, and then our wet dry vac's over here. I'm going to turn it on in just a second when we make our cuts. So the first thing is we're going to need 7 pieces cut at 26 inches. So that's what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to measure out the 26 inches, then I'm going to make a mark. So I'm just going to start at the end, and I'm going to come over here and just mark at 26 inches. All right. And now I'm going to put my safety gear on, so I'm going to put my hair back so it doesn't get caught in the saw. And then I'm going to grab my ears here and my eye protection. So I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to turn on the wet dry vac, and then I'm going to make the cut. And then I will turn off the wet dry vac because it's a little loud. So just be aware it's going to be a little loud in this next segment. So here we go. Put my gear on. So there you go. If you notice, when the blade was in the wood, I let go and let the blade completely stop before I lifted it. And that's just a safety precaution. If I had lifted the blade out when it was still spinning, this wood could have come back at me. In this kind of case, it probably wouldn't have, but it's just a good safety thing to wait for the blade to completely stop. So this is one of my 26-inch pieces, and I actually already cut the 6 others, so you guys don't have to wait for me to do those. So we have this piece, but we want to cut the other pieces that we need. So I have my 26, and now I'm going to cut, I need 7 pieces at 11 inches. So I'm going to come here again, and I'm just going to mark 11 inches. And these pieces that I'm cutting here, that I'm cutting right now, we're going to trim these at a later stage, so they don't have to be exactly perfect. And what I like to do is you're going to see a laser on there, and the laser is going to help me make the cut that I need. It just shows me where the blade's going to go into the wood. Every miter saw is a little bit different. This one happens to have a laser. So I'm going to put my gear on again here. All right, so I have my 11-inch piece cut. I also wanted to just show you real quick, so this is select pine that we're using. It's a little bit more expensive than traditional standard pine, and I want to show you what a standard piece of pine looks like. As you can see, there is a big difference between these 2 pieces of wood. So this piece of pine is probably like $2. Select pine is around $10, I believe, but we'll let you know in the comments because I didn't look that up. So they definitely cost more for the select pine, but you can see there's a big difference. In this particular project, we really need it to be nice and straight and have these nice edges on it. So this was definitely a good option to go with. So let me make that last cut that we need. So the last cut is it's going to be 12.5 inches. So I have 12.5 right here. And again, I need 7 pieces of wood in all of these sizes, but I'm only cutting one here so that we don't take too much of your time. And also, okay, there we go. So let me turn it on again and one more cut. Another safety precaution that we always do is take out the battery or unplug a tool when we're done using it. So I'm gonna take these batteries out. And it's just a safety precaution. If someone was to come into our workshop and be like, ooh, tool, let me play, they won't be able to play, which is what we want. We don't want people to mess with tools that are live. All right, so we are now going to assemble all of this, and I'm going to let Mom help you all see that next step. So I'm gonna move back here. And Mom, why don't you show them how this is done?
I will come back here and set this up. Okay, we're going to set this up. We're going to be using a couple of pieces of wood to help us keep everything nice and square. And it just makes it a little bit easier because it's really important that everything stays nice and straight. This is a clamp. If you're not familiar with it, you press this thing, depress it, and it moves back and forth. So we're just going to, these are just some wood dowels.
Oh, I forgot to ask, who has used a miter saw before?
Yes.
Let us know if you've used a miter saw before, if it's one of your favorite tools like ours.
It is one of my favorites. I've just recently become comfortable with it, and I will say that it scares me just a little bit, but not anymore. Okay, this is a carpenter square, and I'm just using that to make sure this is a square in this corner because we need everything to be right angles, nice and square, nice and neat. Okay, got that, and I'm gonna put another one over here.
And remember, we are in the comments right now live, so if you have questions, let us know. If you don't
understand what we're doing here. And this is hard to do backwards. Okay,
Mom's doing this
so
backwards.
we're actually going to start with the 26-inch pieces. So we're gonna just put these right here. Okay, now you can see right here visually how it's all gonna just line up square, and that needs to be moved over. And
so Mom, we are first lining up the biggest part of the C table. This is the part that's 26 inches. And what we're doing to attach these, we're just going to use wood glue.
Yes.
There's no nails or anything used in this
nails,
project.
no screws, nothing like that. It's really, that's what makes it a very easy beginner project.
Exactly.
Okay, now before we even start gluing up, we need to get rid of this. And the easiest tool we found, I think we use this in every single project now. This is just a little plastic razor blade. You can buy it on Amazon. There comes 2 in a pack, and you get like 200 of these. But anyway, we're gonna get rid of this. Just comes up underneath here.
So Mom is just gonna pull up this piece of, if you've ever taken sticky stuff off of wood, you know it can be really annoying.
Yes.
So she is just gonna use this to remove that pretty easily. And it really
just like that
doesn't use it.
And it doesn't scrape into the wood.
Yes.
So, okay, so we're going to, these are some offcuts from the select pine, and it's the same
just
as
some scraps.
Some scraps. Yes. Okay, and what we're gonna do is every other one of these we're going to put one of those in as a spacer. Can you start to see what we're doing here? We're making what's called a finger joint without all the fancy joinery. Finger joint is like if you put your fingers together like this. This is how this table is going to fit in together. Put that in there, right here, and that is it. So we're going to glue this. We're not going to glue it right now, but this is how this would look. So this end has 3 openings. This one's going to have 4, and then when we do our top and bottoms, they're going to mirror this so they fit in together, just like your fingers would. Okay?
So we're going to put this one aside. We've actually already glued one up for you guys, so you don't have to wait for us to do that.
So we'll show you the tops and the bottom, top and bottom, because it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, so that was the longest piece that we showed you how to do. And again, you just glue that up.
Okay, for the top and bottom, remember we made 2 different sizes of these.
Yeah, so before we made 7 cuts of 11 inches and 7 cuts of 12 and a half inches.
So for one side, we're going to use 4 of one length and 3 of the other. So these are going to be every other one, just like this. Oh, it's like a puzzle. How fun!
If you like puzzles, let us know.
Yes,
Tell us if you like puzzles.
But we are actually going to make it like this. This is the edge we want to be straight. This is cut a little. And it's not quite as straight as it could be, but we're going to trim that off later. So put your little blocks in, and you're going to snug it all up. And look at that, it's ready to go. And see how this is off? So we will later go back to the miter saw and trim this up. before we did this before without doing that, and it's way easier just to trim it.
That's what we've learned.
So that's what we learned. So Steph is going to set the camera down.
So we're actually going to glue this up right now so you guys can see how that works.
And we are just using wood glue. I mean, again, no screws, no nails, no brad nails, nothing like that. We're just putting this together with glue. And we will do this together because it's easier.
All right. So we are going to start. Also, we're going to clean up. Part of gluing is cleaning, and you'll see what we mean by that in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and push these aside, and Mom is going to put glue on this piece right here.
Okay. And just don't get real sloppy with it because it makes a big mess. So I'm going to put it on here and spread it out. Just like that, and put that in place.
All right, so then we're gonna keep our little block there so we know that we're where it needs to be.
Okay, and we don't have to finesse it yet.
Don't have to finesse it. I'm going to hold my hand. I don't need glue where this is, so I'm just gonna hold my hand there so Mom knows to not put glue right there.
Yes. Yeah, you don't want to glue that little block in place.
And do you guys DIY with a buddy? Let us know. I DIY with my mom. Let us know if you DIY with a family member or a friend, or if it's a solitary activity.
Yes. I don't know how people do this by themselves, because there's a lot of times you need someone to help you to hold something, or, you know, to bounce ideas off of.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to put this one here, and we're just going to keep following that process. And I'm going to get you a little bit closer so you can see.
And you see how the glue is coming up, and we are going to get rid of that in just a minute. So we're going to finish gluing
All right,
this up.
so again, I'm going to put my hand right here so she knows not to glue on that end. Here we go.
Yes, here we go. You could do this with your fingers. You know, you could just do just like
that.
that.
She touched it.
Yeah, I did touch it. I went there.
Do you like gluey messes?
Yes,
Let us know.
Yeah. So that's why we're using a brush.
Yes.
Okay.
All
but
right.
you don't have to have a fancy glue thing like this. You can use your hands. Here we go.
You also, before you do this glue up, you want to kind of look at the wood grain of each piece of your wood. We forgot to do that because,
but it looks pretty good. This select pine is really pretty nice.
Yeah, and the wood grain, this right here is wood grain. You see how
the grain of the wood.
You see how the look of that, and then how this looks a little different. So just whatever you like the look of is the one that you want to have on top.
Okay.
All right, last bit of glue here.
Yeah, you see that we did that in real time, and it really is. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long. So I'm going to put this in place, and Mom's going to grab our clamps, because that's the next step.
Right. It is
we need to clamp this
clamps
together.
Right here.
All right.
Let's start with this one.
So we're going to clamp this in place, and Mom is going to get those there.
Well, first we need to get this out of the way.
Yeah, so we're going to move this bottom piece.
Because it's done its job.
It helped us get everything nice and straight, so that was perfect.
So this is going to go like this, and when we do this, you can watch that glue come out.
Yeah, so you're going to see glue will kind of spew out a little bit.
Spew.
Is that a...
I mean, I think I moved this just a tiny bit. Let me look and see. Nope, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You can see the glue.
This is where you really need somebody to help you. And not handling the camera. You see the glue coming up?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
There's the glue.
And you want to get rid of that and not let it dry, because it is a bear to get rid of.
All right, so before we finalize that...
Yeah, take those out.
Yeah, we want to take these out because we don't want these to accidentally get glued in there. So, here we go.
That one I can't get out. You can get that.
You might have to unclamp it a little bit.
Yeah.
Loosen it just a tiny bit. There we go.
Okay. There you
Ooh,
go.
hold on.
Okay.
Not out yet. There we go. So again, those were just spacers. Those weren't anything that's going to stay there.
And we are just using some wet wipes here and get that glue off.
Yeah, these are baby wipes.
Yeah, they're baby wipes.
Baby wipes.
So
Not just for babies.
Not just for babies, but for the workshop.
Yeah, so this is, you want to spend a lot of time cleaning up your glue because it's hard to get off.
It's hard to sand
Yeah.
away, and this will save you a lot of time if you will go ahead and do this. And you need to remember, turn this thing over and make sure you get the backside
Yes,
off.
there's glue everywhere.
Yes. Okay. It's pretty good.
All right, Mom, turn it over. Let's see what we
Let's see
got.
what we have over here. It's always a surprise. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Let's see. Whoa, it's pretty good.
Wow, not too bad. Just a little bit over here.
I did a good job. Oh,
good job, Mom.
I did a good job.
I'm very proud of you.
Okay, and then you're just gonna let this sit.
Yeah, so you want to let this glue dry for about 24 hours before you move on to the next step. And so everybody, just hold tight. Let's just all sit here. 24 hours.
24 hours? Is that too long to wait?
Is that too long? You're not gonna have to wait because
through the magic of pre-planning.
We pre-planned.
Pre-planning, we have this right here, all glued up, dried, and ready to go.
Yes.
I'm just gonna move this out of our
So I'm
way.
gonna move that one. And these are the pieces. You can see they're nice and strong. They are.
That's pretty amazing that it's just glue.
Yeah. Nice and strong. It's only glue. That's all that's attached. That's holding us together. But if you notice, we still have that kind of wonky edge right here. So we're gonna go ahead and take this over to the miter saw and we're gonna cut this. So let's head on over here. And we're going to, first we're gonna mark where we need to make the, let me put the batteries back in. And then we're gonna mark where I will need to make the cut.
You want to talk? Are we using the sliding part?
Yes, we'll use the sliding part in just a second. But I need to grab my square real quick.
It is over right there in this chair.
Okay.
So we're gonna clean up this edge right here.
All right. So I got this is a carpenter square and it gives me a nice straight edge. And what I'm going to do is, this needs to actually be 12 inches. So we cut all of these a ½ inch longer than they needed to be so that we could cut this off later on and we wouldn't have all those jagged edges. So I'm just marking, I'm going to go to 12 inches. Here we go. And I'm going to mark this with a pencil line. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
I want to get on the other side of you.
So this is actually called a miter saw, but it's also called a sliding miter saw. Not all miter saws are sliding miter saws, so just see if you have one. But this one is sliding, so we're going to unlock the sliding feature, and you can see, then I can slide it out, and I can slide it in. So that means I can cut this on this whole distance, which is what I need to be able to cut this piece fully.
So what you're saying is you can cut something a little bit longer than if it's stationary.
Exactly. So when you're looking at getting tools, this is definitely something to consider investing in, is a sliding miter saw, because it gives you more options than a typical just miter saw.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to turn this on again and make that cut.
There's that laser line, that little red
Yeah.
line is the laser line.
All right. So there we go. All of that uneven pieces are now even, and we have a nice straight piece.
Looks great.
Exactly. So now it's time to sand this, right, Mom?
Yes, it is time to sand this. And let me get my sanding things. Get these out of the way.
There she is.
I'm gonna give you a little tiny primer about sanding. I'm using what's called an orbital sander. It's got this disc you put on it, and it goes round and round and round. And this is battery operated. Now, just a little bit about sanding. I don't know how much you know about it, but you're going to use different grits. This is 60, 80, 120, and 220. And when you're sanding, you go through all the grits. You start with the highest or the lowest number, which is the roughest, and you think really, really heavy-duty emery board, because that's actually what it looks like. It looks like an emery board. So the ones that are lower grit are going to take off a lot more stuff. The ones that are higher, that are very fine, it's your finishing. So I'm just gonna sand just a tiny bit, starting with the 60.
So Mom is she's just gonna do a little bit so you can see how that works.
Just so you can see
with the 60, so you can kind of see how much wood comes off.
Yes. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Mom.
Okay.
Are you guys ready? Ready in the comments? Let us know.
Are you ready? It's gonna be loud.
Yes.
I'm just gonna do a tiny bit.
Okay. It's gonna be a little loud. starting to take off some of the wood and just smooth it out compared to something like this. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's definitely a feeling.
I would continue to sand this because see how this is a little bit higher than this one right here. I would sand that until it's flat, and then once I've done that, I will go into the next grit.
Yep.
Okay, now Steph's going to show you how to actually assemble this.
So now we are going to assemble this. Assemble the finger joints here.
Okay. Hi.
Okay, so moving right along, what we're gonna do next is we're going to assemble this, like Mom said.
Show the 3 pieces.
So these are the 3 pieces that we need. As you can see, this one doesn't go together, so we want to grab the other one, and this one is going to fit into this. So there's no secret here. You just kind of gotta jab it in there. Okay. So we're gonna
finesse it into place.
We're gonna it might be better to see it from this end.
Okay, and then we'll go here.
And I'm going to use just a rubber mallet here to kind of push it into place. And it just you're just gonna kind of spend some time getting this.
It will eventually fit. You just
in
need
place.
and then do you want a dab of glue in there?
Yeah, so what you're gonna do when you want to kind of finesse it into place here, get it generally into place. And you just keep going like that. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but once you get it into place, you're gonna want to put a little bit of glue right here, and right here, just in those spaces before you actually get it completely in. Put some glue there, and then then you're just gonna keep pounding it down to get it into place. And depending on how the glue up went, you may not need any clamps. It might just stay in place. Or you could use some clamps. You might need some. And again, you just keep going until it's in place. I don't want to go too long.
And you want to make sure it is square. Get your carpenter square.
Oh, yes.
Set it in place right here, and just make sure that is all lined up. So if that is all lined up just like that,
yep,
you are good,
You're good to go. And we're not gluing it right now because we haven't finished sanding this, so we're gonna we'll do that later. But then the same thing over here is you just kind of put this in place, and you just keep muscle it into place, and then you're gonna have your
table. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's coming together. So before we show you the final, because we do have one ready for you, Mom is going to show you quickly about the staining process. So Mom is going to get her little samples here to show you.
Samples? Yes. Right here, we're using this particular stain. And we are using a wood conditioner. Now, I did this previously so you can see. This is a wood conditioner. This piece has wood conditioner on it. This piece does not. And with the wood conditioner, it just goes on so much smoother, and it's just easier to work with. So I recommend always using, this is without anything, I always recommend using a wood conditioner before you stain.
So it's just you can see in this picture, it just helps it from being blotchy when you put a full stain on.
Yes, so you can see the little blotchiness in here.
Yeah.
From this piece does not have it, this has it, and this is just our one without anything.
Yes.
Okay, you know what we're ready to do?
You want to see it?
We are ready to head inside to show you the finished product.
Yes,
so let's go in here.
We are actually at Mom's house.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to go into her living room.
I feel like I should walk backwards. Here we go.
Hello, Mom.
Hello. We're into my house, into my kitchen. It's a big, great room. And it's right here. Here we go.
Here it is.
This is actually Steph's little table. Although the ones that we just made, I'm going to get to keep. And I love it. I love it. It's a great place to put a cup of coffee or put your remote or anything like that.
And I want to show a little secret on this one. So we stain the outside, but on the inside, we actually did a pop of purple inside. Because if you get to know us, you'll know that I'm a purple girl and Mom is a blue girl.
Yes. So, do you want to show how this...
Yes, I want to show one other thing that you can do to customize it.
I think I could probably do this. Okay.
Yes. So...
Okay, this is actually upside down.
Well, so this is how we showed you to make it, but you can also customize this. And we customized this one for me. This one's for my house. And what we did is we made a little spot where my iPad fits in.
Just like that.
Just like that. So we just used two thinner pieces of wood, and my iPad fits nicely in there.
Okay, and then another bonus feature is right over here.
And does anyone know what this is?
Anybody?
First of all, anyone know? Well, this is called a pop socket mount. Pop socket is just like a little circle thing that goes on the back of your phone. So I can actually hang my phone right here on the side table, and then I always have a place for my phone. So you can really customize this depending on what your needs are.
And I think that's it. If you have any questions, again, please put them in the comments and we will be happy to answer them.
Yeah, we're back. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited. We haven't done a Hometalk TV
In a while.
Yeah, in a while. So we're excited about this and really excited to share this with you. And if you have any other questions or comments or anything, let us know in the comments, because we will be there on November 6th. We'll be there to answer those for you. All
Thanks
right?
so much. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.